Hey family, how's it going? Eric here, of course, and just enjoying my morning, reading, thinking, and enjoy. I've just come across a piece of work that I'm reading by, this is the book called The Mastery of Love. You can read that in that sense. It's a beautiful book. I really love this author. He has many books. I've read many of them. Some of them which have been really great game changers in my life, which I'm thoroughly happy about in enjoying his presence. Um, so what I wanted to read here is just a little piece of him that talks about self-love and really it's called The Mastery of Love, and it talks about relationships and stuff, but really ultimately the biggest relationship you have, that's the most important relationship you have, is the one with yourself. And that starts first with getting to know yourself, your true self, which means not lying to yourself, being honest with yourself. And for many people, they drowned out their honesty with something to numb them, with distractions. And it's really hard to get to know yourself when you're not sitting with yourself in silence or to contemplate your life. And so you never really get to know who you are, without any judgments or past beliefs and stuff like this. You just kind of sit with yourself, and that process takes a while, and you're gonna have aha moments throughout your whole entire life. You're gonna learn more about who you are the whole time, but ultimately, the dream is to know yourself completely. And sure, it's like a dream, a goal to go to, but ultimately, it's the path getting there that we enjoy, that I enjoy, and that's why each and every day, um, you know, I, I I I contemplate. I think about myself. I think about my actions, how much were reaction, how much were conscious, deliberation. Is deliberate action where I consciously had the awareness of how I wanted to react, and that was up to me. So, anyways, here's a little piece, and let resonate, like marinate in it, as I was once told by a really cool person, and see how it maybe relates to your life, maybe relates to somebody but ultimately, it's about changing your own life, and having a different perspective, or changing the lens if you so choose, and if not, and just enjoying the moment. So everyone has a price, and life respects that price. But that price is not measured in dollars or in gold. It is measured in love. More than that, it is measured in self-love. How much you love yourself. This is your price. And life respects that price. So when you love yourself, the price is very high, which means the tolerance for self-abuse is very low. It's very low because you respect yourself. You like yourself the way you are, and this makes your price higher. If you don't like the things about yourself, the price is a little lower. So sometimes the self-judgment is so strong that people need to numb just to be with themselves. If we don't like a person, you can walk away from that person. If you don't like a group of people, you can walk away from those people. But if you don't like yourself, it doesn't matter where you go, you are right there. To avoid being with yourself, you need to take something to numb you, to take your mind away from yourself. Perhaps some alcohol is going to help. Perhaps some drugs will help. Perhaps eating. Just eat, eat, eat. The self-abuse can get much worse. There are people who really feel self-hatred. They are self-destructive, killing themselves little by little because they don't have the courage to kill themselves fast. If you observe self-destructive people, you will see they attract people just like them. What do we do if we don't like ourselves? We try to get numb with alcohol to forget our suffering. That's the excuse we use. Where are we going to get alcohol? We go to a bar to drink. And guess who's going to be there? People just like us, who try to avoid themselves also, who are also there to get numb, who try to get numb. So we get numb together. We start talking about our suffering, and we understand each other very well. We even start to enjoy it. We understand each other perfectly because we vibrate in the same frequency. We are both being self-destructive. Then I hurt you, you hurt me, a perfect relationship in hell. What happens when you change? For whatever reason, you no longer need the alcohol. It's okay now to be with yourself, and you really enjoy it. You no longer drink, but you have the same friends, and everyone's drinking. They get numb, they start getting happier, but you can clearly see that their happiness is not real. What they call happiness is a rebellion against their own emotional pain. In that happiness, they are so hurt that they have fun hurting other people and hurting themselves. You no longer fit in, and of course they resent you because you're no longer like them. Hey, you are rejecting me because you no longer drink with me, because you don't get high with me. Now you have to make a choice. You can step back, or you can go to another level of frequency and meet people who finally accept themselves like you do. You find there is another realm of reality, a new way of relationship, and you no longer accept certain kinds of abuse. Um, of course, I read this in a way, any way that I feel it resonates with me. But it, I find the more I love myself, the less I need in life, because I enjoy the presence of just not only, of course myself, and I can stay centered in myself, but of course my surroundings. I do understand that, you're going to be given different situations, but ultimately what I know I can control is my inner space, and that's what matters to me. And ultimately, running to things to get numb, which I've done before. And everyone's got their own thing. Some people eat, some people drink, some people get high, some people drown themselves in television, so they lose themselves in something, so they don't feel themselves. I mean, there's many sorts of things, but ultimately, I can say this too. Like, if you drink, do you drink because you enjoy drinking? You thoroughly enjoy having a cocktail with somebody. Maybe you thoroughly enjoy a little bit of the body buzz. It feels nice. Very much similar to having a coffee. I get this, like, enhanced feeling, and I enjoy it. But I don't need it. It does not. It is not for me to lose my original self. Uh, but to enhance my life. It's not something that's self-destructive. And you are maybe somebody perhaps, and we don't know this for sure because we don't live in their shoes, but or maybe they've expressed this to you that, hey, like, these are the emotional pains that I have that I'm trying to forget, these wounds that are so sore, and that I just want to take something to not feel it. Just very similar to if you take Tylenol or Advil to avoid the pain of something that ultimately you're trying to dismiss and push away, even though you know it's a problem. And you know that if you don't fix the source of the problem, taking Tylenol all the time is just not going to help. Of course, it's going to mask it, and you cannot think about it. But again, this is the very same thing that I talk about. So self-love is really truly caring about yourself, and caring about your true, the love that you have to your body, to your mind, to others. And ultimately, loving others is the same rate of loving yourself. And the more that you can see who you are underneath all these masks and all these wounds, and you can slowly shed the skin yourself, I believe that the perception of the world becomes a lot more from love. And when a situation arises that maybe somebody is going through a hard time, there's no you don't feel that you don't take it personally because you understand. Whereas when something happens, someone does something, and you take it personally, that's where I feel you may have some wounds yourself, which is fine, which is okay. I mean, sometimes situations like these they need to arise in order to realize our wounds, and I think we will grow up always, and sometimes we'll develop small little tiny cuts, and things, so life situations will expose them, but that's okay. There's no judgment there. We're not perfect, and we always enjoy learning more about ourselves, and where, if we do have wounds, and then in places where we don't have wounds, we can just be a act of love and an act of peace in that moment, because we're not affected by it, because we don't have any wounds. And we may see other people having wounds, but you know, the only thing that we can truly give is non-resistance to the situation, and to just be a heart full of love, and to continue to spread that, not because you have to, but because, you know, there's joy in the outflow of your being. Anyways, guys, I hope you you know, maybe got this something out of this video, or just maybe it allows you to sit and contemplate with yourself, because ultimately, if there was anything that I said that would be nice to get from this video, would just have people look more deeply into themselves, so that they can enjoy themselves more, and enjoy their dream reality here, and enjoy their life. So much love to you all, and big hugs, and I wish you much joy and peace in your day, in your life, in your moments, and in all the healing too that we need here as humans in this society. So